and to give opportunity to newcomers like Werner Kok and Justin Geduld. So there's confirmation then of this third quarterfinal. South Africa significantly ahead in 27-3 in the series with that one draw. Previously in Dubai, South Africa lead 5-0. So South Africa, it has been a happy hunting ground for the Blitzbokke, as they called. Obviously translated as the speedy deer or the speedy buck. So there's the combinations for today. As mentioned there, it's Neil Powell's strongest team that he's brought out. There might have been some questions around Ulengo not starting in this particular game. And we had heard that he was going to start, but Sampi Maastricht is in fact on the park, or will be on the park. For Kenya, in the tough Pool A, they had to fight hard for victories over Portugal and France, and they were pretty narrow before New Zealand gave them a real thumping in their final pool game. But this new coach, Paul True, will be relying on the experience of the likes of Collins Injera, Andrew Amonde, to try and unsettle the rhythm of his former team. So Paul True it is, up against his former team. Just chatting to the citing commissioner a little bit earlier in terms of the positiveness of rugby that we've seen. Well, during the women's event, there's 2 yellow cards, and to date, just 5 yellow cards in the men's competition, and mostly they were for time wasting. So alongside me, Willie Lucy, and Willie, you spoke yesterday about Paul True, but if we look at the two teams themselves, South Africa, good form yesterday. Kenya, a little bit up and down.
Yeah, certainly was, and they need to bounce back, the Kenyans, in particular the way that they were thumped by New Zealand. And there is the score that you can see, losing 40 points to 0. But this is game day, and I said it before this tournament started, that this is a team that I believe will go on to do even greater things this year. Not the best preparation as far as the Gold Coast was concerned, but boy, they've got pace and experience right across the board. And of course, the man in charge from Australia in his 80th match, Mr. O'Brien.
Lots of experience then for Matt O'Brien on the head-to-head side. South Africa with that significant 87% and plenty of points scored. So the start will be from Cecil Africa, RB's Player of the Year in 2011. And the immediate tap down, we see a lot of that these days from those kickoffs. They're absolutely vital to get right. South Africa managing to secure the possession. Frankie Horn and Branko de Puy and Cecil Africa in the midfield to do their bit. One of the key things for South Africa too is that they've got really good pace. This is one of the men, Sampi Maastricht. And Chris Dry, one of the most experienced players. Carl Brown, just a little pop pass from him, opening up some space for Justin Geduld. Here we go, and the big charge downfield, and the try then to Sampi Maastricht. Just the big difference that some of the teams are able to bring to Sevens rugby, Willie, is the ability to just, once you've broken that line of defence, just absolutely steam on.
Well, this all came from what you said, and it was the kickoff. And talk about a captain's knock. Have a look at this. Kyle Brown is the man that gets up. There he is, and he whacks it back. That's the reason why you're able to score, because possession is 9/10 of the law. And here's the last pass out to Maastricht. Boy, he's got pace. He's exciting. And South Africa showing why they are one of the real threats here in Dubai this year.
So solid conversion needed, and South Africa have 7 on the board. Well, that man competing for a place in the team with Jumbo Olenga, who had a terrific day yesterday, is Paul True. And tactically, he'd understand a little bit about what South Africa would be doing. Unless there's been huge changes from Neil Powell's side, it doesn't seem to be the case. So there's Neil Powell, 32 events that he had. He was former captain of the team. He was also a superb sevens player, played for 4 different provinces in South Africa.
played for all the Cats. Oh no, he played for the Bulls as well. You can't be a Cat if you play for the Bulls, can you? So 3 Cats and a Bull.
Well, the Cats...
Or the 2 Cats and a Shark and a Bull.
The Cats are redundant. They now the Lions.
Oh, there you go.
The Cats actually was a combination of players from Bloemfontein and Johannesburg, the Free State and the Lions. There we go, Street again. He's a powerful runner, this man. Was that an early tackle there on Chris Dry? Might well have been. Referee's got his arm out. There's the penalty.
It's the right choice, but not on the right mark there, so he's going to have to come back. That was a superb ball.
Early tackle.
Delivered, I think it was either Dupree or Cecil Africa, but boy, that was class. He ran across the field and then he just dropped a short ball, and the angle that he ran got him through that gap.
So a starting point for Chris Dry. Africa always around the ball. And Branko de Priya now, who's a nifty little player too. Here's Dry, tallest man in the squad. Frankie Horn, little dummy. Oh, he'd love that. Frankie Horn, the man from Boland with a dummy. When a forward can throw a dummy, I tell you what, and score a try, that's worth plenty.
Well, he's the most experienced player in his 52nd consecutive event. And have a look at this dummy. Oh, this is out of the top drawer. Every forward will just be saying, no way, he did not just throw that. Even the referee got fooled because he went with the ball, which Frankie kept. Oh, that's wonderful to see. What an ambassador he's been for South Africa and also the game of sevens. A class act is Frankie Horn.
I'll tell you what, he's counting too, Willie. He's got 49 tries now. He'll be looking for his 50th. This is a good solid start by the Blitzbokke, and Branko de Priya with a conversion. So they've got to 14. Paul True looks on. He's wondering just what his team could do. Well, one of the things they do need to do, Willie, is get their hands on the ball, don't they?
Oh, that's been their biggest problem. Have a look at that stat. That pretty much tells the tale of the first 4.5 minutes of the game. 16 passes. Kenya still haven't touched the ball. Injury here, and so on comes Felix Sayange.
Now that's very disappointing, that for Kenya too. Just a little disruption for them. But Felix Sayange is a superb player. Good man to bring on. Africa then with a good hanging kick. Good chase there. Kick chase from South Africa. Now first real chance here for Kenya to get their hands on the ball. And they preferably want to hold on to it for a while too, just to get themselves in motion. This is terrific play from Collins and Jira.
Well, I think it was actually, yes it was, Cecil Africa, the former IRB, who was ambassador for fair play, but also the player of the year in 2011. He went into the contact area and ripped the ball back, and that's just where it got knocked forward. But boy, have a look right here. He breaks through, he's making the tackle there, 10. And have a look at this, he gets to his feet, now he tries to get the ball, and that's where he lost it forward. But boy, he's a class player. Gavin is Cecil Africa.
He's your quintessential sevens player, isn't he? Just has the all-round capabilities too. Kenya, once again, they're going to find at the breakdown point, South Africa will be very competitive. Of course, there's an unpredictability about the East Africans. If they can get things going. Collins and Jira caught in possession. Felix Sayange, who's taken over that scrum half berth. There's no problem with the pick up there. Injera then pass on to Adima. So for the first time, South Africa find themselves in their own half of the field, close to their 22. Quick penalty take from Injera. Now he knows he can run. The players can't touch him for 10 meters. But they've gone and given away possession. That's been one of their Achilles' heels over the years, is Kenya getting themselves into good solid positions and then losing it.
Well, they'd be the most favoured team around the world. There's Andrew Amonde in his 28th tournament, but they just have fans all around the globe. And boy, are they loved. And they've really only come on the scene lately because, to a certain extent, and I don't mean to discredit them or to speak ill of them, but they weren't a real threat until the last 4, 5 or 6 years. And then just the core group of brothers, Humphrey Kayenge and Collins and Jeda, and just the way they've played, has meant that the Kenyans have certainly got in behind them and supported them. They haven't had too much success against South Africa.
Yep. Well, they've adopted a more physical approach too, and South Africa knows that half-time is beckoning, so just hoofs it into touch. And I think South Africa will feel that they've had a really good first half. Those 2 tries then that they've scored, and both of them converted. That's another big plus for them. Is Branko de Priya is a very good goal kicker.
We tried to win the ball back. We had an opportunity in the first kick-off, because we won it back, and then we held him up, and then we allowed him to get out of jail. Right. We have to capitalize on those opportunities. So we're going to look for 3 opportunities. Let's either go tighter on the defense, and we go inside. So because they're coming to the middle.
Well, interesting words from the 2 coaches there. Neil Powell, just translating for you, Willie, was talking very much about the importance of holding possession, but for the cleaners to get there a little bit earlier at the breakdown point too, which will smooth the possession flow for them. But he said, we've had a great first half.
I like his demeanour. I like the way that he goes on, and he's calm, and actually getting the whole team to breathe first, even before the announcement. And that's something that I've never seen in all the 14 years of this magnificent tournament. But yeah, what a class act Powell is.
So stamping his authority, he did as a player and now as a coach, or as a new coach. However, second half, Kenya, can they get back into this game, or can they get into the game, we should say. Bika Adema with the kick. Up for it, Africa. Does punch above his weight, Cecil Africa. This is Frankie Horn. And lost here. Now's the chance here for Kenya. Can they get the favourable bounce? Oh, the ball, the rugby ball, unpredictability.
Well, lovely footwork from Felix Ayange, but he won't make the national soccer team. He just needed one more little left foot here, because look at this. If he committed himself to the ball, it was try time, but then he just tried to tap it forward one more time. And there, Frankie Horn just losing possession. So not the start that the Blitzbokkers wanted, but look at that footwork. And thankfully, Kyle Brown was able to get back, but it's still a scrum advantage, Kenya.
Ayange with a put in there. Horace Otieno on the near side, under quite a lot of pressure there against Frankie Horn.
Both wait till the ball comes in.
You talk about discipline there. You've heard talk about attitude. Important elements, that of sevens rugby. And it's not the best of balls, that for Ayange. Collins and Jera straight into a cul-de-sac. Carl Brown working really hard to stop him, but Kenya still have possession. Now, can they make this work for them? Little pop pass initially from Felix Ayange.
Off feet 11, no advantage.
Bika Adema. Ayange. Chance here for Kenya. They're over the line. Can they get it down? Oh, that's great defense from the Blitzbokker. But eventually it is Kenya get in, and it's courtesy of Felix Ayange.
Good reward for Kenya. That's just through pressure from the earlier mistake from Frankie Horn, and they were able to get the scrum and then the penalty, and Felix Ayange finished it. Sampi Mastrat did a magnificent job here to try and hold him up. Have a look at this. That's just pure determination, but then it was just recycled. Felix Ayange picked it up and then just used good body position, down nice and low. Kenya are back.
Tell you what, Paul True is a very smart coach. He certainly would have done his homework. First half was a write-off for them. They didn't have the ball. Now they've got a bit more possession. And a chance here for Bika Adema to get the additional 2 points. So there's 7 out. Oh, Kenya. Bika Adema in with over 400 points. But that's the try scorer there, Felix Ayange. Just wonder if it's a matter of time too where we might see 1 or 2 changes. It's another great kick in, and Carl Brown unable to take it again. You can see the importance of controlling possession from kickoffs. So Ayange, he's been very, very busy since he's come on. Yeah, they've got a 2-on-1 here, and a chance for Kenya, flying for the corner. And the try belongs to Oscar Yodi. This is terrific play, this by Kenya in the second half.
Well, you said it was all about possession, and it came from the kickoff yet again. There's the crowd. The supporters for Kenya are up on their feet. They've got something to cheer about because they are back. There's the try scorer, Ayange, firstly, and then a quick hands. Brilliant work from Adema. And Jetta then passed it out. And Ayodi still had a lot of work to do, but he had the angle and the pace. And just look at that quick pass there, because somebody had come off their line, and Jetta moved it out. And very little that Herdold could do. This kick to tie it up.
Well, it was Geduld that came out of his space there. Oh, that's a huge kick, but it's not straight enough. Kick from Biko Adema. So there'll be some level of belief with the men in red jerseys that they can upset the apple cart here against the Blitzbokke.
The last restart, Gavin. Horn doing the lifting, and Brown had just overcompensated it, and so it went over his head, and that's why they didn't retrieve it. Let's see if they can improve it.
Well, this time it's shorter, so well mixed up that by Kenya. They've done well once again. Here's another opportunity for them. Collins and Jera just deciding to bring the ball back inside. Taken in there by Adema. And they're getting a lot more possession, Kenya, and they're making very liberal use of it.
Cole Brown thought that he had all rights, but Kenyans want to carry on with it.
Felix Ayange, the hero of the Kenyan cause to date, just done so much work. Now South Africa will be looking to get their hands on the ball. Change of direction here for Kenya, and well, the knock-on coming from the very man we've been talking about, Felix Ayange.
And it was Collins and Jetta as well that brought it back. That's called Kenya Corner, is where they're playing towards. There is a huge amount of Kenyans in that particular region. And here they are, look at that.
Yep, here's your mark.
That's where you want to score your try.
And they've always got voice too. See them around the world. Kenyans, of course, Kenya is well known for distance running too. So South Africa in possession now, and a chance here for Africa. Pins his ears back. He's one of the real speedsters in this team, but he's run away from all of his support. Now it comes. This is Chris Dry.
I think someone grabbed his hair as well, so we might see a penalty.
Well, there's him and Branko de Pree with those dreadlocks. Justin Geduld. Here's Branko de Pree. He's a busy little player, Branko de Pree. What about that sidestep? Brilliant off the left foot. And the little fellow has absolutely just opened up the opportunities here.
Well, they put together a package before this tournament of evasive players, and he was one of the ones that they highlighted, and they spoke to him about your ability to change direction and accelerate. And first we'll have a look at the hair pull here. I think it's Collins and Jetta. There he's got him, and he's just got the locks there right in front of the referee. They said we're going to come back for a penalty if they don't get an advantage, and you can't coach this. Ready? Bang! See you later. Off the left foot. He's not a big man but in stature, but boy, has he got the heart of a lion.
Well, the shorter guys very often have that ability to step the lower centre of gravity. Another great kick that from Branko de Pree. It can always make the difference at the end of the day. So we heard the hooter in the background. And then we're going to have the kickoff here. Branko de Pree will be the man executing it. In fact, it's going to be Africa. Something that players practice a lot. They know the importance of their kick-ins. And Justin Geduld just hoofs it into touch. That will be half-time then. And South Africa have come back. So the final scoreline then, here in the third quarterfinal then, South Africa 21, Kenya 12.
Well, South Africa's Frankie Horn. Frankie, that was a close one, but I guess if anyone's going to know how to coach a team to play against South Africa, it's Paul True.
Yeah, well, it's his former best between his new best, so yeah, it's a difficult challenge. Always difficult against Kenya. They're quality outfit, they got some big boys, and it's always like a roll between us. It's like a derby, so it's a big game always.
You look like you enjoyed that one. Pulled the dummy out the locker.
Yeah, well, I have to whip out something new now and then.
Now, England or Wales?
Oh, we don't know. Eh? We'll take any one of the two. Doesn't really matter.
Good luck later. Thanks.